Okay, so here we have an overview of the screen. On the left side of the screen is the preview, and this is what the finished e-learning will look like. To the bottom of the screen we have the menu, and we have some information including a link to this video. To the right of the screen we have the area where we edit the preview. So it's a case of editing the right hand side of the screen and then previewing the results on the left. What we're going to do now is change some text on the screen. So we scroll down to the section title, and we're going to edit the text there. Just to let you know that this text is shown on the banner and also on the menu of the e-learning. So we type in our altered text, and now we want to see the changes, so we save the changes made, and then we press the reload button. And what this does is it reloads the content with the changed information, as you can see. So the banner has now been changed with the altered text. Okay, so we once again now go and edit the text, and this time we're going to change the title. So here the title is in HTML. To make this more simple, we edit the HTML button, and we can do any changes we want to the text. So we can make it bold, add hyperlinks, etc. In this case we're going to make the text bold, and we are going to apply the changes. Obviously the changes aren't shown on screen yet because we haven't reloaded the content. We can now do a similar thing for the content, which is the text directly below the title. So in this case we open the content box, again press edit HTML, and we can edit the content there. So we can add in text again and change the formatting wherever we want to. In this case we're going to be a bit more polite and type in the word please at the beginning of the last sentence. So we do that. Again we can apply changes. If we first of all go and press the reload button, if we haven't saved, it warns us that we need to save in order to see the changes. So we'll say yes. We'll make the changes, and here we can see that please has been added to the bottom of the content. And also the title is in bold at the start. So here you can see we can simply use this editor to change text that's on the screen for us. Now what we want to do is to move the entire animation over from the left hand side of the screen to the right. To do this we can alter the X and the Y coordinates. These coordinates are from the top left hand corner of the screen. So a larger number for X means that the content goes towards the right of the screen, and a large number for Y means that the content goes down the screen. So here we're going to make some alterations to the X and the Y, and this in effect will move the content upwards and to the right. So again we can save the changes, reload, and here we can see now the content has moved upwards and to the right. Having moved the entire animation around the screen, now we can control individual elements within that animation. In this case what we're going to do is we're going to move the text down a bit, the main content text, to center it in the document so it looks a bit neater. So in this case we're going to scroll down and find the content_y value. Changing this number will either raise or lower the text on screen, the content text. So in this case we're going to increase the number, and that increases the distance from the top of the screen for the text. In addition we're going to change the width of the text. I'll explain why this is the case later, but what we want to do now is adjust the width value, and we press reload again, and we can see the text has moved down, and also it is now narrower. Right, what we can do now is change where the presenter appears on the screen. So again we scroll down just to show you where the presenter is defined. If we have a look at narrator_FLV, here you can see we can load in the presenter if we're dealing with a progressive video download. If we're dealing with stream video, then that is defined elsewhere, but if you're progressively downloading, i.e. downloading the video to the local PC each time, then you can define it for each screen under narrator FLV. Okay, narrator X is where we position the narrator. So again, if we decrease the X value, we move the element from the right of the screen to the left. Similarly, we may want to adjust the narrator Y value. So say for instance if we decrease this value, we'll effectively move the narrator from the bottom of the screen up to the top. This is useful if we want to put items into a long shot or into close-up. Okay, again, so we can save our changes, press reload, and you can see now the presenter's moved up and to the left of the screen. Okay, other elements that we can change within the structure of the system is we can do things like we could change whether the room rotates. So having the room rotate as true is useful if we want to move to a new topic or change the background of the wall or perspective of the view. So we set that as true. Similarly, we have another thing called slide FM in. If that's false, we have the current view, i.e. the camera perspective does not slide towards the learning. If we set that as true, then we're effectively now in a close-up, so you no longer see the floor and the camera slides towards the back wall. Other elements you can change are the video. If we add a video in here, a video appears in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. This video can be used to complement any training, any e-learning issues that you're dealing with, and it will appear, as I say, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. The final option we have to us is we can change the background if we want to. So if we scroll down and click on the Photos link, here you can see we've got the background defined in there. I'm not going to change it in this case, but you can enter whatever element you want to in there to change the context of where the learning is situated. So again, we can reload and we can see the effects of the changes that we've made. So as you can see, when the screen reloads, the room rotates, and you can see that there is a video now at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Our perspective is now slid towards the back of the room, having the effect of zooming in on the e-learning content. And that is how you edit a basic Jackdaw. Flexible templates are called as such since they allow you, the editor, to add or remove items from them whilst maintaining their basic functionality. The example I'm going to show you uses boxes that fall down to the bottom of the screen, but this could equally apply to other box templates or even a book template where adding new sub-items to the template increases the number of pages in the book. The structure of this type of template is made up of the following elements. A main screen, in this case called Screen 2, contains the opening introduction information, including a title and a description. Instruction on the positioning of these items and inclusion of video elements is the same as found on the basic template learning session. You can see here each sub-item has an image, title and content description, as we would expect. Change the image shown on screen, and the title and content can be changed in the usual way. In this case, these sub-items are boxes, but they can be other elements such as pages in a book. Be aware that with book templates you can only have either an image or a text on page. An image will always take precedence over text. Now we're going to minimize the sub-item to show you how we can add new items to the screen. To do this, we highlight a sub-item so that there's a red border created around it. Once this is done, we can copy this item and paste it below the last sub-item in the list. We get warned that we need to reload the template in order to see the changes. So we press OK and you'll see that the new sub-item has been created, Screen 205. Since there are 5 sub-items, there should be 5 boxes on the screen preview. So we save the changes and press the reload button. You will see that there are now 5 sub-items on the screen. If we press on this new item, Screen 205, you will see it is duplicated to Screen 204. We can now proceed to edit the screen by entering in new text and changing the image as we have done before. Pressing on the image now returns the screen to how it was before.